Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso here on SABC3. Now, the band Henry VIII achieved national success in late 1996 with the release of their debut album, Slap in the Face. And today, South Africa's celebrated lead singer, Karma of Henry VIII, is in South Africa for a handful of Karma and Henry VIII performances during April of this year. And she joins us live in studio this morning to give us a taste of what to expect. And I must say, I had the chance of working with her a couple of years back when I was working for EMI Music as a PR manager, and we worked on her third album together. Nice to see you again, and in South Africa. You left South Africa a couple of years ago.
I left like 9 years ago, so it was a lovely surprise to actually run into you. Congratulations on all your success.
No, congratulations to you. I mean, you're living in the States. You've done music for many ads for TV shows over there. How are you enjoying it? Tell us about your success. Brag a little bit, please.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I know.
No, I've been extremely fortunate. When I first, went over to the States, I still toured. 5 years of running around America, 37 states later, and I've seen a lot of America. I've played some amazing gigs, just all over really. And then you just get a little older and you want to settle down. So I sort of took up writing. I got a great publishing deal. I've got some other creative pursuits that I always do music, you know what I mean? But yeah, you get older.
Now you're in South Africa for the month. You haven't been here for 3 years. What's it like coming back?
It's always interesting, I think South Africa is like just always growing, always changing. There's obviously things that stay the same, like cream soda. They haven't changed that recipe yet, but I think they're messing with Simba.
And in terms of you, why did you leave in the first place? I know many South Africans are sitting there going, oh, you're still proudly South African. Do you support the Springboks?
Of course I'm proudly South African, and I do. I mean, I remember watching us win the World Cup. I was in a little bar in Fort Lauderdale, and I was probably one of 3 South Africans taking on the whole of England in this Irish pub. So, very much so. But, I've also created a life for myself in America, and people often ask me, like, what are your plans? I can't answer that because I never actually sat down and planned to move to America in the first place. So, when an opportunity presents itself, I'm not a person who likes to sit still. So I keep in motion, I keep moving, so you just don't know where the future's going to take you.
Now, talking about the future, you've got a new album coming out, Edison Project, sometime this year?
I hope so. I mean, that's up to the record label. We'll see. Guess Again, the single has been released, and we'll see how that does, and then, we'll talk. I think it's dependent on whether or not I'll agree to get on a tour bus, which I'd probably say no to.
Why?
I just hate it.
But you used to love it. It just shows when you get older, you just change.
I know. I mean, I had a blast in my 20s. It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. And now I've become such a homebody, and I like to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night.
This is not the Karma and Swanepoel I
know. It's tragic.
It's called growing up.
I think it is. And I think you suddenly don't want to stay in hotels anymore and sleep on people's couches and do all the rock and roll stuff. But I'm very grateful that I had that experience. I mean, it's fabulous. I love telling the stories. I love looking at the pictures. And, I keep the Henry VIII saga close to my heart all the time.
As I'm sure many South Africans do. Karma, thanks so much for chatting to us and getting up super early. First thing she said this morning when she woke up was like, oh, do you do this every morning? It's way too early. She's with us the whole morning. Why don't you post on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, any of your earliest memories of the band Henry VIII? I remember watching them in Pretoria at Tings and Times performing, and it just blew me away for the first time. It's time to go over to you and now with our guest who makes a living out of art. Let's find out more.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.